The best is yet to come. A specific message for somebody who has recently, or maybe not recently, but it's still, they're feeling the weight of it, a perceived loss is what I'm hearing. Could have been a loss, but it says a perceived loss. Okay, so let's see what this message is and who it's for. But it's important to remember, the best is yet to come. Something about you standing in your power is really important for where you're headed. So I think that perhaps you weren't standing in your power with whatever happened, even though I'm not sure you knew that. Okay, 999 is important for someone. Yeah, lacking confidence, strength in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, devoid of emotion, it says. I feel like maybe you cut yourself off from emotion, to be honest, with whatever you went through. There's so many things that, you know, it could have been, that you could have gone through. Something to do with families coming through here as well. So whether it was like a family that you wanted or it was to do with your family, there's something about you, however your upbringing is, whatever's happened when it comes to you and your family, the specific, whoever I'm talking to here specifically, it's caused you to be very lacking in confidence within yourself for a long time, and it cut you off from your own emotions because there might have been more, it's kind of like there was more emotion given to what was on the surface level and not actually delving into the truth of emotion. So maybe there was a lack of kind of, you know, love that you needed as a child and validating your emotions. You didn't get that. It's important as a child to receive that. Okay, ooh, energetic powerhouse. Okay, I think you're in preparation right now for whatever's about to come. It's like you're gathering your energy to take the actions towards what it is that you know that you are here to create, or you just feel it, you know, in your heart space. I think that's something that you've wanted for a long time, and maybe it is your own family actually. The star at the bottom of the deck that says wish granted. Yeah, so that's just come through for a reason. So maybe you're understanding what family dynamics are, or just what certain dynamics when it comes to your emotions are for you, without the conditioning that you experienced as a child. Okay. Oh, look at that. The Empress, Divine Feminine. Wow. She's in her power and she's pregnant. I was talking about family, so okay, the Star as well. So let's look at this Strength card in reverse. Lacking confidence. Let's just get some clarity. There's too many cards. Lacking confidence. Okay. This is where I think somebody has I'm hearing acted against what they actually knew was in. It's kind of like they acted in ways that they ended up having some kind of shame or guilt for. Okay, yeah, following your heart. They weren't following their heart. Whoever this is, they wanted to follow their heart, but instead they got led down a different path. And it says needing an outlet here, so I feel like maybe it's that, again, childhood trauma and just wounds and that kind of thing is stored in your sacral chakra. So maybe it is that, you know, they were led towards more unhealthy patterns and attachments. Okay, material attachment as well, it says. So it could be that, something that they didn't let go of for a long time, but all because that's what helped them to feel better about themselves, because we're lacking confidence in their heart space, their emotional space. There could be someone who's very avoidant when it comes to emotions. You know, when I say avoidant, I mean they find it really difficult to face their emotions, to feel safe in feeling and expressing their emotions. Yeah. Oh my God, King of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well. Emotional mastery. Got it in you. So let's go to this Queen of Swords in reverse. This is devoid of emotion. So, like I said, cut off from emotions or... Okay. So yeah, this is somebody who is kind of like it's acting in ways that were just serving them, very sneaky, just to fulfill what they needed and wanted, because they didn't want to get, it's kind of like they were protecting themselves, but in already ways that they weren't thinking about anybody else, right? You got the Seven of Swords here as well, and that's the Four of Cups here. It says self-serving on that particular card. Therefore, this Two of Cups that's here, this beautiful, loving exchange, it's kind of like they weren't prepared for it. They weren't ready for it. You know, they were way too in the dark. I think they had a lot of secrets and maybe it's that family stuff that they were just not aired. It was in the back in the dark, and it constantly kept them on, almost like on, like an edge, on watch. No one can see what the scars are, or that kind of thing, whether they'd face them themselves truly deeply. Okay, 10 of coins, 10 of pentacles. It didn't come out either way, so it's kind of left it like this. Okay, so this is why I feel like there's a bit of an imbalance there, what they want and what they've experienced. And I think that they know this. Okay, let's get some clarity for this 10 of coins as well. Yeah, the Knight of Wands. Yeah, see, they've acted in very impulsive ways that are very much against the traditions and the values. Say tradition, not necessarily the programming that they were brought up with, but just, again, that family energy. Something about family that's really important for them. It's like maybe they do have this traditional mindset of what a family should look like, whatever. But whatever the case is, they've always veered away from that. It's kind of they wanted to go in that direction, but their impulse, that Ace of Wands in reverse, right, needing an outlet, has led them towards more unhealthy ways. But I do think that they recognize this, and they've kind of, it's like they've taken a pause. We've got the King of Swords, so we've got the King and Queen of Swords air signs here. Okay, not the best when it comes to a connection, the King and Queen of Swords. It's very in the head, devoid of emotion, mind over matter, emotional anguish. Yeah, someone wasn't dealing with their emotions from an emotionally intelligent space because of what we've mentioned, but they were feeling the hurt of it, that in their heart, which is why, whether it's subconsciously or not, that was influencing their decision making, right? The world here, end of a chapter, it says. So they're learning. Let's see, because this Page of Wands gives you like some kind of faith and hope, better things are to come. So it's kind of like the energy, they're regaining that energy, it feels like. But it feels really almost like small, almost like they're young version of themselves, like redoing things, So that maybe they are doing that. They're becoming their best parent. Yeah, new perspective, the Hanged Man, beautiful. There has been some kind of pause here, then that did come through. They've been given themselves time to recognize this. Yeah, the Three of Swords, to recognize what has been hurting their heart all along. And it wasn't about anyone else doing anything. It was about the choices that they were making, but also they're understanding the roots of these choices, the actual drivers. Okay, so that mind over matter, I think it's because they're trying to understand now. They're trying to become more intelligent when it comes to their emotion. They just need to find that balance. Okay, choosing your battles. Yeah, 9 of Wands. I think they have ended up in situations because of that 7 of Swords energy where I don't know, that says worth fighting for as well. So it's kind of like, where have they been putting their energy? Where have they been investing their energy? And how is it really serving them on a higher purpose? Because when it's like an instant gratification or a quick hit of pleasure or whatever it is, that I usually say, it's not going to make you feel fulfilled in the long term. It's going to be something that you need more of constantly, So it's kind of like they're needing to understand where their energy output is being invested. Okay, one more. No way. The Emperor. So we have the Empress and the Emperor on the table, and it's on the right side, so that's good. This is like, oh my god, and look, the emotional mastery, the King of Cups. That's better for like connect love anyway than King of Swords. But yeah, this is someone who's really learning how to don't forget the Emperor takes that action, so they're learning when to choose their battles, as in not to take on burdens that are no longer theirs to take on, and not to keep carrying it towards their future. I think that they've constantly carried the past into their future, so it's like they haven't been able to create a new story for themselves, a new version of self either, because it's just been a repetitive kind of, the past has been lingering in the background, influencing their decisions. Now their new perspective is really helping them to gather this energy and to recognize, hold on a second, I don't want to take that forward. And it's kind of like they're actually taking the time to learn, not just like ignore it and bypass it, but to really learn from it so they can move forwards. Unhealthy patterns, I said that. So there's something that's a Devil in reverse. But Death, yeah. And that's come out with the Magician as well. So I think they know what they want more than they have before. And that's why I feel like that better things are to come makes sense. But they're just releasing right now something. So this is someone, it's almost like wherever they've wanted to move forwards, they've got caught up in something, an unhealthy pattern or other people's drama, whatever it is. And it's really, I think they're finally understanding this. And this is where they're kind of gathering it's almost like they're gathering their wits and they're understanding things in a much more clearer way. I'm seeing that owl, you know, they're seeing things differently. But I feel like it's very logic driven, first and foremost. It's like they really want to understand this, which is what is actually for them, is going to help them to unravel their emotion too. Maybe they are, you know, intellect is important to them. Okay, so the world did come up. We've also got the King of Wands, and it's come out like this. So someone who is a leader, but those unhealthy patterns keep them in that unpredictable energy, which means every time they want to manifest whatever this is that they want to move towards, got the Empress over there as well, this happens, and they do that unpredictable thing, that Knight of Wands thing that they know, that needing an outlet thing, and they're so stuck in that energy, right? However, the world came out after. So, and this does say ending a chapter, so they're learning. This is what they want to close out. The best thing about it is that's where the logic is leading them, because they're understanding this, they're finally understanding this, they're seeing it more clearly. Judgment, they're heeding the call, a call that has come before. Okay, a call that has come before, but they were way too in that lacking confidence and devoid of emotion energy to even try to follow their heart. Okay, so this Empress, let's get some more for this Empress. Queen of Coins, and she's come out like this. So we've got a fire sign masculine and an earth sign feminine here. We've also got 2 air signs. So the Queen of Coins, she's learning how to balance, how to give to herself versus being there for others, truly, which makes sense for divine feminine energy, okay? Where she's, again, that's really interesting. So that could be a mirroring thing. She's also learning how her energetic outputs and inputs. So boundaries, healthy boundaries. Who are you reserving your energy for? Who is taking that from you? She's learning that. She needs to. Page of Coins, she could be working on something, laying some kind of foundation, because that is a Queen of Coins. So that could be something that she needs to address, where her energy is being spent, I suppose, you know, versus actually the foundation she wants to build now for this. Yeah, 8 of Coins, she's definitely focused on her abundance path. That's very good. But again, it feels like there's some kind of block or something for her. It's like this imbalance of giving and receiving or something. I also think she's done this for a long time, and she's wondering when is it going to be. I'm hearing kind of like that turning point, that big break energy, you know. Let's see another one just to confirm for this Empress. Oh, too many. Oh, that's the Sun and the Ace of Cups there, radiant energy. Ooh. Okay, it's too many cards, so let's do another one. Let's get another one for this Empress. Okay. Okay, that's 2. Many possibilities. She has got a lot of possibilities moving forward. I think this is why she's kind of, maybe she's been a bit confused. You know, you got that 7 of Cups is there. So maybe she's got too many options. It does say 5 of Wands here as well, which is, there's a lot of, some kind of clashes happening. So maybe she's found it difficult. Maybe she's a bit of a, you know how they say alpha and all that stuff. That I don't really use those labels, but I'm getting the energy, she might be a bit of a Sigma. Okay. So very, she could be someone who's quite solo, but not in a way like that feels lonely, but more in a way like independent, you know. And yeah, look it up if you want to. Does that relate with you? Let me know. Yeah, so there's definitely been something here where there's been, and also this is 8 of Wands, so it's kind of like something's gaining momentum, but it does come, I think that there's something about needing to compromise here. This is someone who's going to need to learn how to invest in themselves, but also how they need to find healthy boundaries in order to create space to give to another without then creating resentment or something that they've taken or something, you know. So it's like giving from the heart and not feeling like you're just overworking and just nothing's happening, you know, that kind of thing. That was that way. So okay, 3 of Cups, so that is a time to celebrate, but also be mindful. 6 of Cups as well, could be a return. Comforting connection. It's kind of like being mindful of who is in your, the Sun did come out at the bottom of the deck there, radiant energy. So that it's kind of like being mindful of who you are surrounding yourself with and where it just feels like it's just out of your alignment. Your truth, you've changed. So the way you're seeing things, the way you're understanding things, your truth is not where it was before. Because like I said, that was just a repetition of the past. Again, just moving forwards is when you're releasing that past, it creates a complete change in your environment, in your people, a lot of things. And you have to be honest with yourself. That's not always easy, but with this beautiful 3 of Wands here, it says manifesting your dreams. So this is your focus. You need to, your different version of you. It's either you accept that you've been shedding those skins for a reason, or you continue to cycle through the past. You know, it's time to make a decision. Well, I think you already know this, okay? But that sun here is beautiful. Really beautiful. Okay. So we've got the Emperor and the Empress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some cards here. Oh, look, the heart at the bottom. So I'm getting the message that these two, there might have been a situation here where they weren't ready, right? The masculine energy, again, because of unhealthy attachments, they were keeping so many secrets. They weren't ready to truly give from their heart space, which they needed to really dig into and feel their emotions again, learn how to healthily and confidently express those and feel those, right? And this feminine energy, I think there's something about being mindful that you're not creating arguments. Be mindful of that kind of, you might have a bit of fire in you. Okay. And maybe that's what's kept you in the past wondering, hold on, why do I constantly keep having these clashes with these people that I supposedly love, you know? There's always misalignments. You always have like things, disagreements or whatever. But when it turns into a bit more fiery, it's because there's emotion there that's triggered beneath the surface. It's about understanding what that is beneath the surface, okay? Because for you to celebrate moving forward with the right people around you, not just your person, the people, and for you to want that, because that's what you're focusing on, that forward movement, it requires you to delve into those emotions, yeah? Let's get some, there could be jealousy here as well. Maybe this is someone who you've had people jealous over you and that's why you find it difficult to trust, maybe. Or you're someone yourself who you've experienced deception, so you find you get a bit triggered when it comes to that, you know, jealousy energy or something. Okay, so divine masculine, we wanted to show up here as the Emperor. What are the messages for this divine masculine? Let's get some confirmation. True North, that makes sense, because they're closing out this, they're ending this world energy with these unhealthy patterns, this unpredictable behavior. They're discovering their true north. Number 22 could be a life path. Oh my god, it actually says life path on here. Just as I said it, I read it. That's so funny. So they're discovering their life path. They're seeking the truth, direction, finding their way. Then they know where they're going more than they have. They're making a plan and they're exploring. This is what I mean by that. It's like their head again, the heart, head and heart. It's like they're exploring in a very masculine way. They're logically understanding, but they're logically understanding their emotion. That's good. Then it comes to feeling them, so you have to feel them too. Okay. What else for this divine masculine energy? Okay, got a new perspective here. A lot of energy inside. Chandelier. This could be someone who has a lot of status, someone who's very sophisticated, you know, likes that elegance, luxury. Could be someone who's quite romantic. Confirmation, the masculine energy at the bottom of the deck. Again, there's something about tradition. I did say that. I said that word came through for a reason. There's something important about that for this masculine energy. Sophistication, legacy, celebration, romance, beauty. And they could be quite good looking actually. Elegance, enlightenment, refinement. This is someone who, they know what they want. And it's very it's luxurious, you know, it's higher level, yeah, and this is why they also understand that the unhealthy patterns don't align with that vision. They know that. They've got to, just as I said that, they've got to close out that world. That's what they've got to close out, that version, because it's out of alignment with their future. The Broom. Number 11, number 36 as well. Removing unwanted stuff, purging, cleaning. Yeah, look at that deterioration over there at the bottom of the deck. They felt, they're having a total makeover. They're in the midst of this. They want to restore harmony here as well, okay? So they're cleaning up the mess. I feel like I want to say that they made, so clearly there was something there. It says unavoidable, so something very karmic could be taking place for them right now. I think it's this masculine energy who is coming through as having experienced this loss recently. They might have been poorly as well. And this is it's kind of like, you know, when you really, because they've been learning so much and seeing things differently, it's illuminating something to them. This is where they're understanding that they need to end that chapter. They want, I think that, you know, it's not a trusting person to be like in that unpredictable energy, and they know that. So they're stepping more into their future version of self. Okay, number 23, a seed. They have, this is potential for growth here. Small beginnings, big results. They need to remember that. Small beginnings, big results. Change. They're going through change. There's hidden possibilities. There's more than meets the eye. So they need to hold faith in that. But like I said, the best is yet to come. Reproduce. That pregnant and that family. Something about that's important for them. They could be looking after their diet more. They need to. Okay, especially with those unhealthy patterns. They need to think about their diet. I think it's someone who's, when they speak, people will listen. There's someone who's like, that's how it feels. Okay. Anything else for this divine masculine energy? Detour. They've been sidetracked. Child. That's, I think it could be some kind of child situation that detoured them unexpectedly. But I also think this is to do with their inner child, and that's that snowflake there, so very vulnerable. So I think that this is a detour. They're finally understanding, hold on a second, let me address this. Things need to go on pause for a second while I go down this detour, this path. Okay, that's where there's been maybe some delays for them. They've had to rethink their priorities. There's been setbacks, right? Obstacles, but I think that this has been needed. That judgment card, that awakening is, I feel like, in order for them to truly step into that beautiful energy, that's chandelier, you know, that legacy energy, that's been needed, because I think that they were, for too long, their priorities weren't what they need to be for where they want to go. Okay, so it's been a turn of events for them for sure. And I think that might have been that recent, like, you know, that lost thing as well. Anchor. They're persevering, right? Number 35 and number 9. Enduring, steady, long-lasting, persistent, secure, stable. That's very divine masculine. That root chakra is coming through, the Muladhara. So clearly, they could be very, you know, have love, like money status that was coming through. And I think that's another thing. There's someone who, they want that. They want to create that. Well, so that was the diamond ring at the bottom of the deck. So that could be, again, something on their mind, truly, because that family keeps coming through for them. But it's going to be about working together, and that's going to be different for them, okay? So they're learning that. Divine Feminine. Cards for the Divine Feminine. Ooh. So this did come out for the Divine Feminine. That's interesting. So number 12, she's learning her expression. Healthy boundaries, remember? She could be going public right now. Could be getting heard more. It says publishing here, shining, wider audience, speaking up, increasing her visibility. That's interesting, because that status for that divine masculine came through, that chandelier. So that might be someone who really already is like that. But this is someone, this divine feminine is becoming more amplified and more bold in her energy. Wow, that could be another beautiful mirroring thing as well. Wow, aligning with each other. Okay, divine feminine. What else do you need to be aware of? Number 333 could be important for the divine feminine. That is quite, I always think that's a very like divine feminine goddess number as well. So that's beautiful. Number 11, Firefly. Yeah, illumination. She's self-discovery, but it's like she's finding her magic within, that self-spark. She is someone exceptional. That fire again. I told you she's got some kind of fire in her. She needs to be mindful how she channels this. Creative spark, yeah, channel it into creativity, you know. Sacred rage is important, so it's not about ignoring or bypassing your emotion, it's about finding healthy outlets and learning how to understand that, observe it, you know, all in the right time. It's a journey. But certainly, I also feel like she's becoming more illuminated. There's something about her that's shining more. It says chemistry here, so I do think that she still feels that chemistry with her divine masculine, for sure. Okay, 12 and 11. And then this Celtic knot at the bottom of the deck. Eternal love, love of lifetimes, divine union, infinity. She knows this. This is still in her heart space, absolutely. That's why she came up with that 3 of Wands, manifesting her dreams. And on that card, there's a couple getting married as well. So, God, you two, you're both very much on the, I don't think you realise, but you're very much thinking long term, okay? Divine feminine, that's why she's got that time to celebrate. She's becoming more, she might have something to celebrate. She's being heard more, seen more. okay, but in the best way. And that's why the Eight of Coins was coming through. It's like, I keep doing this again and again and again, but where am I getting? She's getting very close to a celebration, to an achievement, okay? This is all needed for her personal growth, first and foremost, to realise she's someone exceptional without the need for external validation, without the need for others to see her, her wealth. She needs to see that first. That's why she's the Queen of Coins. And she didn't come out upright or reverse, so being mindful, the church here. Number 36 again. Principle, religion, dogma, family values, marriage, structure, belief system, collective consciousness, tradition, programming. That, I think that's to do with that societal programming, what I just mentioned about kind of that external validation. It says red flag here. So she's being mindful of her internal programming as well. What sits with her and what doesn't. Yeah. Marriage is on that card as well. Let's see, what else for this divine feminine? I just want to confirm that church as well. Oh, masculine. Let's get another one. She's got the masculine energy that's come through. I think that maybe she thinks that her masculine energy is still in these patterns, this way of thinking, Maybe she hasn't seen him because that mask was at the bottom of the deck then as well before. So maybe she's still thinking that he's like this past version of himself, which is he's closing out now. Okay, let's find out some clarity. Yeah, obstacle, heart at the bottom of the deck. Mountain, she thinks it's a problem. I don't think she hasn't got proof that her divine masculine is like ascending, is like truly closing out these cycles. She thinks that he's still indifferent. That means there's that devoid of emotion. I think she might still be seeing him as very avoidant, very cut off, and there's a barrier, there's delays, pride, which again, King of Wands makes sense. So maybe that's what she's experienced with this masculine energy. Solitude, clearly there's some kind of separation here, or this is a masculine energy who left her in that cold energy, that distant cold energy. What else? Just to confirm for this beautiful divine feminine energy. I think less confusion then, because that was about to come through. Confused. That's probably why that Eight of Coins is coming through. She's like, I'm doing so much, But the thing is, you need to trust that whatever's happening over there, they're doing what they need to do. And that is not the reason why you are doing what you need to do. You're doing what you need to do so you can find your alignment, so you can step in your power and your purpose for you, truly, and the people that you're here for. 13, strategic planning, okay? So these are the dominoes. Dominoes could be important, memory. Bring me your young is what I'm hearing. Precise, set in motion, gain momentum, cause and effect, progress, execution, chain reaction, line up, butterfly effect. So again, she's working on something, but she doesn't realise that it's about to be more illuminated than she previously thought. I'm going to get another one for this divine feminine energy. And also she doesn't realise that actually her divine masculine is way more on it. Yeah. He's strategically planning and setting things in motion for himself too. He's checking himself right now. He needs to. Yeah, Archer, you're on target. Divine feminine. Oh, you might be this person's target as well, as in like you're their goal they want to move towards, is what I'm hearing as well. Implementing a strategy again. Let's get another one. Because this was for the divine feminine. I'm going to do your connection in a second, but your divine feminine energy. What does divine feminine energy need to be aware of here? Whoa, okay. Okay, communication and the diamond ring. I think this is what she desires. Glass heart, fragile. Yeah, I think this is what she desires. Communication and next level. Again, another card of marriage. Promise, proposal, engagement. I'm getting this energy that she might have... She's a bit older now than, there's been some years here, I think. Statement of intent, union, next level, promise. This communication is bridge number 12. That was 25, 1, 13, 21, 28. Collaboration. She wants to collaborate, which is why she's been learning how to communicate better without that, that rage and that. She's understanding her communication skills, a compromise, overcoming those barriers, the obstacles that she's seeing. She wants to overcome them, even if she thinks that this is what her divine masculine is still like. She wants to overcome that. Fragile. She might be feeling quite vulnerable right now. It says apologize and forgiveness here. So I also feel like this could be the divine masculine who actually does want to come through. This is also why she was getting that personality clashes coming through, because I think she still thinks that there might still be something, that's out of balance with you, like misaligned. So I'm going to do connection now. So what do you need to be aware of for your connection, for this particular connection? Remember to watch all parts of the reading. Okay, so there has definitely been like something off here. That's Fox and that Seven of Swords, there's been some kind of deceit, something that felt really crafty and cunning or whatever. Or even I feel like someone could be behind the scenes shadily watching. That mask did try to come through. So some more confirmation for your connection. Number 14 and 9. 14th of September for people. So somebody, I think, walked away here, clearly. Number 8, the walking boots. Journey, adventure, exit, walk away, self-reliance, taking steps, exploration, pursuing your own path, freedom, independence. You needed to pursue your own paths. You needed to see what was still blocking you. So that's important to remember. But also, you needed to recognize how you need to pursue your own path. Oh, that just slipped out. Snake. There might have been something to do with a child that hasn't been spoken on as well. You need to get away from the collective consciousness that, you know, you are connected to that, right? But it's about the programming of that, where that's trying to keep you stuck. I always say, you know, in those, whether it's those lower 3 chakras, that disconnection from your emotion, your truth, your divine love, your divine truth, you know, you have to go this way to explore yourselves. You've been taking those steps, okay? So your connection moving forwards, it's developing, it's aging like fine wine, so it's going in the right direction, right? You've got the anvil here as well. So this does say taking determined action. There's strength, there's resolve, there's purpose, there's focus, concentration, resilience, and persistence. Number 4 and 2, wine, developing over time. It also says family legacy as well. So again, that status is a big thing, you know, stalk. So definitely something about status. Got the Queen of Coins and the King of Wands. That is quite status, giving me status energy. It's raging well, it's transforming right now. There's an alchemy taking place, ripening, okay? Your connection, yeah, there's going to be some kind of message moving forward. So number 1 and 9. I'm hearing the 9th of January as well. Movement, messenger, message, travel. You could be traveling as well to each other, especially with this bridge as well. Green Knight, there's progress here. You're understanding your goals better. That's why you're not getting caught up in each other that you might have done before, because you've been learning those healthy boundaries, you've been checking your shadow, right? And healing and releasing accordingly, which is where this alignment is coming into now, okay? It does say full speed ahead, and this has just come out the lily, which is beautiful, number 30. So establish, ambition. You're both going to be really, I feel like there's a sense of really setting the foundation in a very mature way, okay? Sexuality is here as well, so that could be something important about that for you. Mature development, this is like growing old together, that energy that's coming through again. Okay, experienced, you're more experienced than you were before. That's what I feel like it's been a few years. Your connection moving forward, let's find out if there's anything else. Look at that, the key and the heart. Number 33 and 8, so solutions, intelligence. Yeah, there's going to be clarity coming, insight. You're going to need to pay attention. Okay, so this is where that compromised energy is coming through. It's kind of like you might think that this is how you want them to approach you, but actually they're going to do it in their way. So you need to hold space, not have that expectation or have like a set vision or script or whatever, right? You're both going to, I think that you're both here, your purpose is going to be very, it's almost like, it's something about the mind is important, that intellect is going to be using your intellect, okay? The heart here, that keeps wanting to show up. Number 24, love, desire, joy, bliss, affection, fulfillment, kindness, forgiveness, romance, contentment, passionate caring. You're going to need to learn how to align your personalities together, I think. This isn't about energy, this is about your personalities, okay? Because clearly there's like this feeling that there's been some secrets here, some untruths. Number 1, there's been that feeling of being walked away from, you know, that's another thing. Somebody's had their unhealthy attachments, or somebody else has had this, unable to actually healthily receive that truth, okay, the emotion that just overcomes you. That's why you've had to have this time apart to age like fine wine, to heal through these. So, yeah. Okay, what else do you need to be aware of? Divine Masculine. What does the Divine Masculine, cards for the Divine Masculine? Water sign energies, Cancer. Summer could be important for the Divine Masculine. Could have been some really important developments over summer is what I'm getting actually. The Star again. The Aquarius energy. Altruism. They're becoming more giving instead of that taking what I want and, you know, being like hiding behind the scenes or whatever. Hope, faith, the healing. Good. That's giving them more hope and faith. Let's get another one for the Divine Masculine energy here for this particular connection. Oh my God. Came out again. The Devil. They're dealing with the shadow. Oh, look who's on their mind though. The Empress. Okay, addiction, restriction, materialism, shadow self. They know this. This is where I think that they're healing and they're getting more faith because they're recognizing actually this is something that I can heal. Whereas before, I feel like they didn't get it because they were in that like totally cut off from their own emotion, being so like self-serving, right? Wow. But that's changing, and this is where those major developments might have been taking place over summer for them as well. Okay, Divine Feminine, cards for the Divine Feminine for this particular specific collective. Remember to watch your cards. Got fixed signs here. That was Libra, Justice. Interesting. She's about truth. She's about truth, which is interesting because she's not received that from this. So, keeping on going. Again, the same energy is coming out for her. She's just carrying on, keeping on going. Purpose driven. That's good. Secure and reliable. Yeah. So it's like keep going. I don't think you realize. I know it feels like sometimes you're just going and going. What are you even going for? But you reach a point where you've got to have that internal faith. You know. That was Earth at the bottom of the deck as well. Divine Feminine. What does the Divine Feminine need to know? What messages do you need to know, Divine Feminine? Okay, so Divine Feminine. Ooh, King of Fire. That's interesting because you got the King of Wands here, but that was for the Divine Masculine. So, and this gives me Emperor energy sometimes, this card as well. So springtime could be important. Within 7 days, something's happening for you within 7 days, so keep going. That's very soon. Keep going. Let's get another one for the Divine Feminine. You got to stay focused on your purpose. You got to have faith that you're following your divine alignment and those signs. Sometimes it feels so subtle, and it is small progress sometimes. There's something about you celebrating something, and I think it's within those 7 days, truly. Oh my God, the Queen of Fire at the bottom of the deck. I did say you've got a lot of fire in you, even though you're coming out as the Queen of Coins. So maybe you could be fire. Got air too, so, and that's within 7 to 14 days. Okay, so Taurus season is important. Whatever this is that's coming through within 7 days, it's going to be something that's going to develop over the next 12 months, truly. But it's something that's going to be long lasting. There's progress here into next summer. That's beautiful because the Divine Masculine had that summer card as well. So there's a lot of I think there's a lot of new energy coming through for both of you. So the Divine Masculine is clearing through, beginning to have faith again, hope, healing, understanding what's happening, especially with these developments I've been having over summer. Divine Feminine, whatever you're focused on in the future, you're purpose driven, and you're going to keep getting some kind of achievement, okay? Cards for your connection. Cards for your connection moving forward. Like I say, sometimes it's those small wins that you can just so easily overlook, those small milestones. Time to get going. Beautiful. Okay, so there's beginnings here. There's a rebirth. I feel like there's a rebirth taking place. Leader. And the Chariot. Definitely time to get going. Wow. Cancer energy again. Willpower, determination, success, action. Oh, both very driven. This connection is going to kind of just... I feel like it's going to have this energy of, again, going like long haul, you know. Truly. Another card for your connection. Communication. I think communication is coming soon, if I'm honest, but it's not going to be like union energy. It's not going to be like, let's get to... I think it's going to be like the beginnings of that forward movement. Okay. So yeah, it's developing. Mentally active. You're both on each other's minds, that's for sure. But I feel like whatever you're starting now on your individual journeys is really kind of influencing and really helping this connection to find its alignment even sooner. Okay. You are getting a lot of cards about communication here, but not in the tarot. So I feel like there's still a lot of this healing that you're doing on your own individual journeys, and this communication. I know that it's definitely desired from both of you. I can feel that. But I think that's just this, that next step forwards to align with each other. Yeah, Uranus, the Fool. I'm sure Uranus recently went into retrograde, so that's jumping in, taking that leap of faith. Someone could be quite rebellious. I mean, unpredictable energy, so yeah, they probably are. There's going to be an opportunity and they're going to seize it, especially with that key. Wow. Scorpio season could be important. Leo at the bottom of the deck, the Sun. So success again. Success keeps coming through. Let's get one more just to confirm what's... Again, oh my God, no way. Leo and This is what I wanted to confirm. Yes, at the bottom of the deck. Leo, strength. So the strength is turning upright. So it was lacking confidence towards now with this determined action that's coming, moving forwards. Courage, confidence. You know what? It might feel like small communication or something small that like opens this avenue. But to this person, it's going to be big. It's going to be courageous. I think you're both going to need courage to really check your shadows with each other. Check your triggers. Be mindful. Take notes if you need to, whatever it is, okay? Persuasion, wisdom, power. So someone's got a very persuasive energy. But this, yes, and that's autumn time as well. So there's a lot of allowing yourselves to move on now from the past. Okay? But it's also, there's this energy of don't get attached suddenly. Take time to rest, to contemplate what's taking place so you can understand how you feel, how the connection feels, and really allow yourselves to find that. I always say this, but you have to find that alignment, and it comes from understanding what's happening within you, not just like jumping on the excitement of it and like, you know, I think that maybe you're not even at that energy right now. You're so focused on your own path, which is beautiful. And that's probably why this is coming in, okay? Just mindful of that self-interest energy, okay? I'm just going to get quickly some cards for moving forwards for your connection, okay? If there's anything you need to know, but I honestly feel like you just need to focus on what you're bringing in now, because there's something you've both been creating within like your own journeys, like almost like manifestation, if you want to use that word, but certainly something that is about your divine alignment now. So moving forwards, there is going to be a need to the Lovers union. Wow, okay. This is where I think you're going to need to find that alignment, and this is a Two of Coins, so that's a balance. Oh, there's something underneath it. That's a balancing act, okay? And then you've got the Five of Cups. So I think that there's going to be a need for a few things. A balancing act, again, that compromise keeps coming through. You're both going to need to hold space for each other. How you both do things is very differently. Even how you communicate. So you need to hold space for that, okay? But also respect that actually maybe they do need you to let them know, you know, just... You need the space for your own freedom, but you also need that reassurance, you know, from each other as well. And you're going to need to be honest about that. This Five of Cups, you know, there's sadness here. There is. But this is going to be about how you emotionally and intelligently handle this now. I also think that you've got your own little paths going on. I think you're going to need to balance the connection and your own paths. And don't forget, your purpose is... Your connection to divine is number one. Your purpose is number two. Do you understand what I mean? Then your connection is feeding into that. And it could be that you might end up having quite an aligned purpose, okay? You always do, you know. But this Queen of Cups keeps coming up at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, Ace of Cups, love, overflowing love, but also a time to reflect. So whatever is coming forwards, what are you still holding on to? That's, you know, creating this sadness. Maybe there are some still misaligned values or whatever it is. Let's be honest. Talk to each other about this. Find that balance within yourself, with each other, and decide what you want to create moving forwards, because you both have the same thing on your mind. And if you want each other, then clearly you're going to need to invest in that, put that effort in, you know. Let's get another one for your connection moving forwards. Oh, lots going on there. Okay, so Ace of Coins, new beginning, definitely. You've got the Four here, so there's definitely this free-spirited, like not rebellious, that... Well, yeah, maybe just that leap of faith that's going to be coming through, which makes sense. But be mindful that you're not just rushing in as soon as it happens. Okay, mindful, truly. Walking away, yeah. You don't want to repeat the past. Okay, you don't want to repeat the past, but also you're going to need to talk about this walking away, because this Ace of Swords is saying you're going to get clarity about what truly happened, what was happening behind the scenes. There's going to be awareness, there's going to be insight. There's going to be this Ace of Coins new beginning, this Eight of Wands is gaining momentum. There's going to be conversations had, but in those conversations, be mindful. Check yourself in terms of your own red flags, each other's. You know, and if you do think, you know what, I still feel like I could split the deck to the King of Cups. He kept wanting to come through, and so did the Queen of Cups. So you're both really getting prepared to get into that emotional state where you are emotionally mastered, where you are emotionally aligned and ready and balanced and stable to say yes to doing it together. Three of Coins. Yeah, to learn how to get out of your own self-entrapment and learn the truth, not just keep repeating like the same old story in your head when actually the truth, it just hasn't been spoken yet, okay? Which is why you've had to really check yourself and find out how, hold on a second, why do I feel like I'm going over and over this? Yeah, let's pause, bring it back to yourself, You're going to need a lot of patience with each other. You really are. And I think that forgiveness is going to be important here as well. I just wanted to get some clarity about your connection moving forward, because I got a bit confused with the energy, but this is confirmation. So that Four of Wands, that's what I wanted to see, the celebrating union. So you're definitely coming into your alignment and union. The star at the bottom of the deck is a wish granted. So this is definitely something that you can look forward to. Well, it's something that is saying is on the cards for you, but it comes with truly releasing the emotion that might still be there, whether there's, again, that forgiveness, that sadness, that regret, that maybe you felt resentment or something, whatever it is, that's what's going to come up for you to really heal through. And I think that you're in a much better state to do that, though. You're going to be way more aware. You're going to allow yourself to understand the situation, what was needed, and that's why that Chariot was coming through, because it's going to help you see things clearly and get excited again about moving forwards. But again, be very mindful that you're not just rushing. Okay, there's something, you both got this fiery energy within you, so be mindful, be patient with yourself, with each other, create that space of safety, that foundation. Okay, stay in your light, stay in your heart. And this beautiful, again, they're married, getting married on this card, so that just keeps coming through. So even if that is a long-term shared vision, it begins with the right foundation in order for it to be stable and sturdy and full of these beautiful, yummy qualities here, okay? You're going to be learning a lot about each other, a lot of truths. Hold space for that. I think you're both going to have some decisions to make, and it's going to be about your priorities, truly. It's going to be almost like an awakening, that judgment energy. Yeah, so this is what I mean by patience, and keep moving forwards. You know what your path is, and there's more to be revealed. It's not coming through yet because it's not time right now. You're both really focusing on the right things, okay? So when you come into this conversation, which could be quite soon, clearly by the cards, remember to stay in your heart, stay in your purpose, stay grounded. Divine Feminine here is going to have some decisions to make. I actually think that she might have more than one person in her vicinity as well. So she knows what she wants, but do not rush. Yeah, you know your truth. You know where your heart is. So you don't need to force anything or wonder why things aren't happening. Stay in that divine alignment. Connect to divine. Remember that. It's so important for you. And the decision when it comes to understanding this walking away energy, take your time again, okay? Be honest about your feelings. And it has to come from your heart space. That's the most important. That's a healed space. Yeah, not the aggression, not the da-da-da. And when you feel that coming up inside of you, again, step back. Know that you need that time. You're both going to need that freedom of time and space. You're going to give that to each other, which is beautiful. Remember, the connection is developing well. Yeah, okay? You got this. Stay in your love, stay in your light. Sending love.